Hey friends, Steve here. Has this ever happened to you? You've been by a piano and you or maybe a friend of yours says, hey, I know how to play something on the piano, and they sit down and start playing this. And then either them or someone else starts playing. So I'm sure you've all heard this song. What is this song? So the song is called Heart and Soul. Now, this song was written a long time ago, but not as long as you might think. So this was written in the 1920s or 1930s by Hogy Carmichael. This is the guy that wrote this. It's a fun little song, and it's easy to play. But it's been around so long, and it's so ubiquitous now, that sometimes we forget that there was a time when there was no heart and soul. That the song hadn't been written yet, and that people didn't just sit down at the piano and play that. It's kind of weird to think about. Okay? Thinking about the music that we know that is so commonplace in what we think of as music, that it's hard to remember that there was a time that didn't exist. That there was a time before the Beatles were a thing. That there was a time before Elvis Presley was a thing. It's easy to think about with the bands that are, current today. It's easy to think, oh yeah, these people were just on the scene, just came on the scene 5 years ago. And so it's easy to remember that there was a time that they didn't exist. But heart and soul, that's been around forever, right? I mean, anyone can just sit down and play heart and soul. And so it got me thinking about heart and soul. Sort of thinking about what is this song about? Okay? Most people that play it know the song is called Heart and Soul, but do they know what the original song was about? I've got the music here, and I'm going to play Heart and Soul and sing it for you. Let you know what Heart and Soul sounded like when it was new, when people weren't just sitting down and playing it for their friends. Okay, so here's Heart and Soul. I've let a pair of arms enslave me oft times before, but more than just a thrill you gave me, yes, more, much more. Heart and soul, I fell in love with you, heart and soul, the way a fool would do madly, because you held me tight and stole a kiss in the night. Heart and soul, I begged to be adored, lost control, and tumbled overboard gladly. That magic night we kissed, there in the moon mist. Oh, but your lips were thrilling, much too thrilling. Never before were mine so strangely willing. But now I see what one embrace can do. Look at me, it's got me loving you madly. That little kiss you stole held all my heart and soul. So that's the way Heart and Soul originally sounded. That's something to think about next time you play that or hear a friend play it. That it has words. It's a really lovely song about falling in love with your true beloved. It's a really tender, sweet song. So I wanted to share that with you. Think about songs that you may think are just everyday common songs. You can think way back. Think bum, 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 bum. What is that song? That's A Little Night Music, Eine kleine Nachtmusik by Mozart. There was a time before Mozart. There was a time before that music was written. It's really interesting to think about what the world was like. I often like to think about my ancestors, think about where they came from. And when I think about when they were born, when they were living, I'm thinking, what sort of music were they hearing? What sort of music was around when they were living? Did they know Beethoven? Or know Beethoven's music, I should say. Were they familiar with Sibelius? Were they familiar with Aaron Copland? What music were they listening to as they were growing up and as they were hearing music? I'm just going to end today with a little fun with Heart and Soul. Since it's got this repeating bass line, it's fun to just sort of play around with the top line. So here we go, Heart and Soul. Now I'm going to play it upside down. How about this? Three Blind Mice. How about the Munsters? I hope you have enjoyed this little trip down memory lane as we explored Heart and Soul. See you next time. Keep the music moving.